Hello, welcome to the Franklin and Allum show. I'm, I'm Dave, and with me as always is Ben and Kev. And tonight's episode, we are discussing our favourite comedians and our favourite skit or joke by that comedian. There we go. How is everyone?
Yeah, all right. Moved house again.
Really? What? Is this your permanent?
No, yeah, we're in the proper place now.
Uh,
Yeah, I haven't. I'm not on holiday. Yeah, I've actually moved in, got all my stuff and everything.
Nice.
Yeah,
where are you now?
which church?
Ooh. Whereabouts?
Well, which one? I'm not giving that away, Dave. There'll be fans at the door. Protect my data.
Been up to much, Ben?
I've had a birthday.
Oh yeah, of course it was. Happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you.
Belated.
Yeah, got my bike. Broke my bike.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
A twat. Twat who can't ride it properly. Modern gears. Modern gears. It said a chain slipped, and I was about a mile from home, and I was trying to fucking fix it, and I think I fucked the derailleur, the gear thing. So I need to try and sort it out. But yeah, other than that, been growing my hair. Just growing some hair. That's what I've been doing.
Getting back to looking like Richard Ashcroft.
Been said before, that, hasn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Sorry about
That
that.
just adds extra validity to it if you say it as well.
Oh yeah.
How many people have said that to you?
Well, me.
You and Kev. That's two.
You go first, Kev.
Steve Coogan. Specifically, the Alan Partridge character. Just consistently funny for almost 30 years. It's a character that's evolved but kind of changed the same as well. It works across multiple formats. He's brilliant on the TV. The books are very funny. The podcast is hilarious. It's a flawless comedy creation. What I love about him is just how much of a buffoon he is. Mm-hmm. But he's a snob with it. Like he's and it's the same with all good comedy characters, that they don't know that they're the joke. They don't know that, they think they're kind of elevated above it. And Hancock was another classic example of that. Thinks he's elevated above everyone else, but he's actually just a buffoon. And he looks down on everybody until he's in the company of people that genuinely are kind of a status that he admires, in which case he becomes an absolute sycophant. And it's a seamless transition from one to the other. And I don't think there is an Alan Partridge thing that I haven't completely loved. So Steve Coogan, but specifically Alan Partridge.
It's a really good choice, and he's grown into him as well, which is pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah, that's a really good choice.
The podcast, I went through the podcast really, really quickly. It's not a hugely long podcast, but I went through the whole lot in a couple of days. And it's the same thing. It's Alan Partridge, but there's something different. Every time he kind of recreates Alan Partridge in book form or podcast or whatever, there's a different element to it. And you're kind of eager to find out how it's changed slightly. I could watch Alan Partridge all day.
Yep.
And the ones that you've seen a million times before still make you laugh as much as they ever did.
Go on then, what's your favourite thing of his then? That's going to be really hard.
The Bond episode.
It began in forest in Germany.
It's Austria! Austria!
It's the one where the laser beam goes up his jacket.
Goldfinger!
What's the one with the volcano and it splits up and a big rocket comes out? There's all chinkies jumping down. Isn't that a Thunderball?
No, stop getting Bond wrong! I'll tell you about the spy who loved me. All do that with your fingers round your eye. I'm Roger Moore. Bang! Blood dribbles down. We're on a submarine. Two sailors sit down and have a game of chess. And the cups start wobbling, and then a man who used to be in the Needham line comes in and goes, "Why are the cups wobbling? What's going on?" And then you can stop doing that now. And then he pulls down the periscope thing, looks through it and goes, "Oh my God, the submarine's being eaten by a giant tanker." And then we cut to Moscow, and there's a man there, and he's Russian, he's got eyebrows, you know. And he's on the phone going, "What, a whole submarine? You're joking! I'm going to have to tell some other Russians. See ya!" And then it cuts to James, Roger Moore, and yes, he's with a lady. yeah. He's necking with her. Right, and he goes, "I've got to go, love. Something's come up."
He means his cock.
Yeah. Anyway, then he puts on his underpants and his ski suit and he gets on his skis and he starts skiing. And he's being chased by these Russian shits in black jumpsuits with lemon piping. And he's just skiing along like that, and they start shooting at him, and he goes, "Right, I've had enough of that, just stop it!" And he turns around with this gun, and then he does a backward somersault off this ramp, and he lands on his feet. I'm not sure why, but he's not showing off. And then he goes over a cliff, and he's falling, and you think, "Oh, God, James Bond's going to die, he's going to die!" But then, at the last minute...
He pulls a ripcord, right, and a parachute comes out, and it's got a Union Jack on it.
Michael!
That's how it ends!
That's not the end of the beginning. The end of the beginning goes like this. Glang, glang-a-lang-a-lang-a-lang-a-lang. Glang-a-lang-lang-a-lang-a-lang. Nobody does it better. And I'm a naked woman in silhouette with a gun.
Yeah, so Steve Coogan, Alan Partridge.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
It's a brilliant choice. What's your favourite Beatles album? The best of the Beatles.
Probably the best of the Beatles.
I love all of that. Playing the bass. I went for Tim Vine, my first choice, because this guy has me in stitches. Do you remember the Sainsbury's depot used to have a what do you call them? A community pub, a club. I don't know what it was called, but I used to work.
Social club.
What's it called?
A social club.
It's a social club. Do you remember what it was called? Can't remember.
The Sainsbury's Social Club?
No, it wasn't.
Kansas?
It had a name. Is it named after the football team? Who was the football team that way? Anyway, it can put me off. I saw him there. He played there in the very early 90s because I worked with a guy that his mate was wanting to get into stand-up comedy and used to do comparing at loads of shows, and he used to like book gigs for all these up-and-comers. So we had like Tim Vine, Don Locke, Johnny Vegas, all of that. But Tim Vine always stood out for me because I was hurting so much. And the reason I like him is it's silly, it's nonsense, but at the same time, it's really clever because how he works out the jokes to play how they do.
Yeah.
It's very clever. The speed, he can just rattle them off.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Harry remembers it all. It's pretty cool. He won an award for probably not his funniest joke, but he won. It was I've decided to sell my Hoover. It was just gathering dust. He won an award for that. But it's
Really good joke. It's a really good joke.
I don't think it's his best. And I just wonder how. I'd love to understand how he prepares new jokes. How he must spend hours just, I don't know, looking at dictionaries, finding words that mean something else.
Just pun. He gets the punchline and works the joke backwards.
Yeah, he must do. Yeah. It's got to be. And a lot of his work gets attributed to Tommy Cooper for some reason. Everyone thinks they're Tommy Cooper jokes, but
I have a favourite bit of his, but I won't say it yet in case it treads on yours. So,
okay. All right, I did my favourite joke. My favourite Tim Vine joke is this: my dog's got no dictionary. How does he spell terrible? Right? It's not particularly funny, but it's so clever, isn't it?
This bloke said to me, he said, I'm going to dress up as a small island off the coast of Italy. I said, don't be so silly. And I met the man who invented windowsills. What a ledge. So I said to this New Zealand bloke, I said, I'm going to a Swedish furniture shop. He said, does it look like IKEA? This song is called Subtraction. Take it away. Banag, that's bang out of order. I don't know why I put myself through this. So I went to the binoculars shop. I tell you what, they saw me coming. So I went down to a local pub. Do you like local jokes? Yeah, me too. They're right up my street. I said, I bet you can't name a single subject I don't have a joke about. He said, beavers. I said, damn. But you know, the first job I ever had in this business, I was playing the back half of a pantomime wasp. And I thought I was the bee's knees. Do you know, the other day I got lost in the jungle. Luckily, I had a compass with me, so I was able to draw perfect circles with a pencil. A small blue garden bird made of mahogany. Be great if I had a related joke. Wouldn't it?
Yeah, Tim Vine. Absolutely brilliant. And like you say, Ben, yeah, there's no crudeness to it. There's no agenda. There's no politics. It's just funny.
Joke.
Jokes.
Yeah, good one. I've gone for Jordan Peele.
Good.
Because I think there's just lots and lots of like layers to him. He can do like very, very silly, deadpan really well, but he just has this ability to do stupid, which is really difficult to do. You know, yeah, I just love him. I think it's great. And I wasn't expecting him to go where he's gone at all. I thought he would do some good comedy films and then like Wright or something. I wasn't expecting him to go to fucking become a filmmaker.
Yeah.
So for me, I think yeah, I just think there's something about him. I think he's an auteur, you know. I just think he's an artist. There's a body of work to him, and his big boy from Outcast impression is absolutely fucking phenomenal.
Is that your favourite Jordan Peele?
No, my favourite. I've got two favourites. I really, really like the Slave Auction.
Yeah.
Three favourites actually. The boxing press conference is really good, and there's one where they're playing Pictionary, and he accidentally comes out.
Very good.
That is a great choice. That is a good choice because there's more to him. He's not just a comedy guy.
He crops up in unexpected things as well. Little plays like small characters in little things, and he always kind of steals
out, doesn't he?
Yeah, he always kind of steals whatever he's in.
Both of them do actually. They're both good, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think he's gone a different route, isn't he? He's gone a bit more.
I've not seen. I saw Get Out. I haven't seen
Us.
Yeah, both very good films. I think.
Yeah.
Very good.
Should we vote?
Oh, that is. really hard.
I think I've seen more Key and Peele than I have Tim Vine, and I think I could watch Key and Peele for a longer period of time than I could watch Tim Vine. So I'm going to have to say Jordan Peele.
Go on, Ben, you go.
Partridge because it's so good. Rounded. It gets funnier and funnier. He gets funnier and funnier. And I like the fact that it's changing with the world now.
Yeah.
Where in Alan's mind, he's becoming more and more woke.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, I just think that it's changed. Like the writers that he brought in, the Gibbons brothers, are they? The Gibbons, I think they.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Like I think what they've done has just completely changed the trajectory of it. You know, like he could have just retired it or bought it back, and he could have done another kind of sitcom, and it wouldn't have worked. But like with the Mid-Morning Matters, like for me, the film didn't really work. I wasn't mad on the film.
Yeah.
Some funny bits in there. I don't think Partridge works as a film though.
I don't know who to pick. I'm gonna go Steve Coogan. So there we go. So round one, Steve Coogan.
Boom.
Moving on to round number 2.
My second choice,
Yeah.
Mark Heap.
Oh, that's great.
I remember seeing him. I can't remember what the name of the duo was, but it might be Two Marks. I think it was.
It was, yeah. I think
In the early, might have been late 80s, early 90s, and they were kind of silly stand-up things. But he kind of, as a comedy actor, the things that he's gone on to do, Brian in Spaced is just a brilliant character. Every character he played in Big Train was brilliant.
Yep.
The next door neighbour in Friday Night Dinners is just nobody else could play that character. He plays weird really, really well, Mark Heap, and I think it's just for this clip. This is just such a silly sketch, but
Mr. Kevorkian, allow me to shake your hand. You have volunteered to remain in this cell for 10 years, completely alone with nothing but 3 books for company, simply so our scientists may ascertain how such treatment may affect an ape of roughly the same size as yourself. I shake your hand again, sir. I feel honored to know you.
Oh, just sorry.
Big Train is so underrated as a sketch show. It's so good.
yeah.
It's because they didn't really have reoccurring characters, I think.
No, and I think there was one or two. There might have been one or two scenes or characters that appeared in a couple of different scenes, like the distracting boss. But yeah, there's not catchphrasey type thing.
Good choice.
And that sketch just tickles me every time I see it.
Yeah, it's good. I've gone for Bob Mortimer. I don't know what you can say about him. He's just brilliant. Big Night Out through to Shooting Stars, Atletico Mints to Gone Fishing. The guy just is relentless in what he does. Always funny. He's never changed really. The performance, his style's always been that sort of buffoon, surreal.
Yeah,
it's odd, and for me, is always the funny one out of Reeves and Mortimer.
Yeah,
I'm not saying Vic Reese isn't funny, but it's Bob Mortimer that always made me laugh harder.
He carried a lot of the weight, I think, particularly in Big Night Out.
Big Night Out, totally.
Yeah, he did a lot of the heavy lifting in that.
Yeah, he was basically all the funny characters were him.
Yeah. I saw a clip of him today as his impression of Ray Mears. Was brilliant. If you've not seen that, have a look.
His impressions are very good, actually.
Yeah.
But they're impressions, and you know who they are, but they're just slightly caricaturish, aren't they? They're just slightly, like if he'd drawn them, they'd have a big nose or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really, really clever.
Train Guy is...
Well, that's what I was going to say. You know, he's kind of not reinvented himself, but he knows he's not gone out of his way to create a brand or something like lots of other popular people would do. He's just gone, I'm just going to film myself on a train, and it blew up on Twitter. It's absolutely genius.
Yeah.
And I think in his episodes of Would I Lie to You, they've gone down in TV gold, haven't they? They're just the stories he tells.
Yeah, and
Chris
again,
Rea cracking an egg in his bath and stuff. How do you even come up with stuff? How's that even in there? It's just
yeah, it's again another one consistently funny for 30 years. There's not many that can kind of do that to keep making people laugh for that long. People, you tend to get bored of people if they don't bugger off, don't you? So
yeah. And I like the Atletico Mints podcast is just absolutely hilarious. It's about football, but they don't talk about football at all. The closest they get to football is Gangs of the EPL and the managers' lunch club thing, where they all just saw the managers just there grabbing their money. So it's like Mark Hughes, Sam Allardyce, all of that lot. I had to stop listening to it when I was working because I was dying with laughing. And that's my favourite thing out of everything that he does. Gangs of the EPL is so funny. It is so good how he makes the footballers seem so ordinary, and he puts them in these mundane situations, and his impressions are just bang on. It is absolutely brilliant. It's toss up between that and his Peter Beardsley monologues.
Well, some at White Lions, from the World Cup, had a meet-up, pre-season meet-up in Harry's mum's garage, for a pre-season party. Practice some of the dancing, check out Harry's ant farm, make their own ice lollies in the garage fridge, watch a bit of the Flumps Take New York, order some jewellery. Order some jewellery from Gem TV, do a bit of finger painting, that sort of thing. So Harry's there waiting with his mum, and first to arrive is Jordan Henderson, yeah? Oh, hello, Harry's mum. Did you know it was actual Puma that invented Screwfix, Go to India, maybe park up, count to 10 and make man country style, like. Would you like a hot dog, Jordan? Says Harry's mum. Oh, yes, please, Mrs. Harry. I love long meat, me like. Then Philip arrives. It's right scorcher today, isn't it, lads? My mum says I should keep indoors and not get too excited and not eat anything too sugary or with foreign spices in it. Would you like a hot dog, Philip? Says Harry's mum. Oh, yes, please. Oh, though, hold on. Could I just check that the meat is bland and watery? My mum's not keen on me getting a lot of taste. Bloody hell, Philip, says Harry. It's a hot dog. You're not going to get fireworks, are you? Honestly, stop being such a Boots McFusspot. Just then, Eric arrives. Hello, Mrs. Kane. Hello, Philip. Hello, John. All right, son, let's build a cat flap. Nah-titty, nah-titty. Harry, I bought you a balloon to blow up. That's very kind of you, Eric. Mum wants to know if you would like a hot dog. Can I have some time to think? Oh, just making one, Mum. Right, who wants to see my ant farm? Yes, please, says Philip. Eric. Yes. 17 tins of girls' names, says Jordan. Just then comes Debbie. He's really excited. Lads! What is it, Debbie? You're like you've got a secret burning a hole in your pants, or at the very least you've had an interesting thought. Lads! Oh, come on, spit it out, you frantic bastard. I've got a new goal celebration for the new season. It's muck-stravagant, and it really is quite something. Is it a sort of wave? Says Eric. No. Jordan says, oh, do you wag your finger, like a bus driver when he sees a nut job? No, but it does involve my finger. Oh, says Philip. You stick your finger up your ass and then suck it, My mum gets gradely with me when I do that, like. No, I'm not a northerner, Philip. Harry says, do you make your fingers like you are holding a knife and fork and pretend that you're eating a thick slice of ham? Debbie, no, I can see I'm going to have to show you. So Debbie does his new celebration using his thumb and his forefinger, like he used to pretend he had a monocle on or something. Debbie says, what do you reckon? Philip says, what's it meant to represent, like, Are you looking very strongly at something of interest, like a very shiny button or a new coat? Does it mean, says Jordan, you've been to a laundrette with your mum? No, says Debbie. Eric, is it a cheeky way of looking at Leighton Baines' ass? No, Eric, I'm not a bootsmuck ogler like you. No, I've got it, says Harry. Is it just really different and marks you out as a special player who must be taken very seriously? Yes, that's it. And I mean serious with a cottage pie and a finger of fudge on top. Come on, all of you, you try it. So they all do the circle around their eyes, and just as they do, Harry's mum comes in with a plate of hot dogs. Ooh, what's up? Has Leighton Baines just arrived or something? Told you!
I'm going to go for the Gangs of EPL and Bob Mortimer. Genius.
Don Rickles. Did you have Don Rickles?
I put him as an honourable mention because the reason I didn't go with him is because I think I only discovered him really probably about 3 years ago.
Yeah, the same.
Then
the
I've
same,
him. Yeah,
but yeah, just biting, just funny and quick, just in complete control. Worked a crowd like nobody else. And attack the crowd when nobody else did it. If you think about what that must have been like, it was unprecedented. Nobody had done that before. To just, you play with a crowd, but it was the basis of kind of his whole routine. And he would have like a format of a show, but it was all just off the hip, just a funny guy.
It's brilliant, and it's the roasts. You see the old school roasts, and they're just so different to the roasts that you see now. Where they see how many motherfuckers they can get in there and stuff like that. Where back then it was classy, it was done with a certain tone, which was
the only man that could take the piss out of Sinatra as well.
Well, he could take the piss out of anybody. Anyone doing the stuff he was doing, and even up to his death was still doing, they'd be crucified. But he did it in such a way that it didn't hurt anyone.
Marco Mangananzo was hurt.
Marco Mangananzo?
Fambino Bombazzo. 2 bullets in the head Thursday. Now this you don't believe. Excuse us, Johnny. You're from the Midwest. You're busy going, is the truck loaded? Guido says hi. He hasn't had a chance to talk to you. And from Jersey City, your good friend, Bubani Umbazzo.
What's
He
his
started
alias?
his car. He started his car with your album on, and now he's a highway.
Oh, that's funny.
But I tell you, I'm a Jew and you're an Italian. And here we have what? This is the most exciting night, and so help me, it's a great night. He was even nervous because he came to me and said, and I said, you are a powerhouse, and Frank, I love you.
Can I tell a story about what this man did to me once? You may have heard about this. It was a true story. This is a long time ago, long before Don got married. I was eating dinner in a restaurant in New York, and I was sitting with some friends, and he came over to the table, and he said, Frank, do me a favor, will you? He said, I'm sitting with a very pretty girl, and I'm trying to make out, you know, and he said, I told her I know you, and she really doesn't believe me. Would you stop by the table? I said, all right. I was just about finished. I was down to the espresso. And finally, he went back, and I walked by the table, and I said, how are you, Don? Nice to see you. He said, can't you see I'm eating, Frank? What are you doing? And I went for the whole thing. I stood with my mouth open.
Oh, it's so good. He is funny. He is funny. He is funny. Oh, and part of a world that we never knew, that whole Vegas thing. He was part of that. It's just so cool.
He was the last one as well. He was the last one to sit, you know, to tell the sale, wasn't he? He was
nice. Okay, voting.
Okay. I don't know very much Don Rickles, I'm afraid, so it's going to be Bob Mortimer for me.
Don Rickles.
Bob Mortimer.
Bob Mortimer.
Good one.
Bob Mortimer goes through.
Good one.
Round 3.
I've gone for who I consider to be the best stand-up still working. Stuart Lee. He's unlike any other stand-up. He's so kind of comfortable in that stand-up persona that he can just take his time. He's not in any rush to kind of get to the punchline. All of his stuff is really well woven together, and there's lots of kind of callbacks to previous stuff. It's watching him. It's like, as much as it is funny, it's like watching an art form. It's
he's my third choice. So I've got to pick someone else now. Okay, who am I going to put?
This clip.
Root beer.
Oh, nice. I love a root beer.
Yeah, me too.
Observational comedy. seen these Muslims they have now?
Notes I made about him is what I like about him is that he will that went on a little too much. You get what I mean? He knows when to go. Oh, I'm going to just go a little bit more, and it makes it funnier for some reason.
Yeah, he does that quite a lot. He goes kind of past the point where it's funny, but just persists. It's almost like he's doing it for his own amusement, and the audience will catch up with me eventually. And
very clever.
Always,
and I think he does that balance. So if he's being really childish there.
Yeah,
he's really, but at the same time, he's making quite a big statement about the state of his peers, basically. He's a clever comedian.
Yeah, he's exceptionally clever. All of his stand-up stuff, the comedy vehicle stuff he did on the BBC. All of those shows, but they all kind of had a serious point to them, but he gets there in this really kind of slow, meandering way.
Stuart Lee, brilliant. That was my third choice. I'll pick someone else.
Go to your honourable mentions list.
Well, my honourable mentions. So my first on my honourable mentions is, and the reason I didn't, because I think he's gone up his own backside these days, but I'll do it just because he was absolutely brilliant. And Simon Pegg, I'm going to go for Simon Pegg. Big Train, Spaced, even Shaun of the Dead. Iconic moments from British comedy. I think he was great. He was a great. I think he was a great writer, but he was brilliant at delivering the comedy, the sketches in Big Train where the funny bit is he's just trying to get out the door.
Yeah.
But just the way he does it, it's so good. Brilliant comedic actor.
Yeah, physical comedian as well.
Yeah.
Really good physical comic.
Yeah.
It's just a shame he just went all
Hollywood,
right?
And he did.
He
has,
I don't
know. Yeah, you can't blame. I don't know what the phrase is, but I think if my best mate became Tom Cruise, you're going to change slightly. I think, hanging out with Tom, but it's just the way he seems to have ditched. He may not have, but it appears that because he doesn't seem to do much with Nick Frost anymore, and if it is, it's little bit parts in it.
Yeah.
And what's his name, director guy? It's like he's just, it's like he's just ditched them all. This is quite sad, isn't it? But
I'm sure there's a lot more to it than that, right?
So, what's the plan? Right. We take Pete's car, we drive over to Mum's, we go in, take care of Philip. I'm so sorry, Philip. Then we grab Mum, we go over to Liz's place, hole up, have a cup of tea, and wait for all this to blow over. Why have we got to go to Liz's?
Because we do.
She dumped you.
I have to know if she's all right.
Why?
Because I love her.
All right, gay. I'm not staying there, though.
Why not?
If we hole up, I want to be somewhere familiar, I want to know where the exits are, and I want to be allowed to smoke.
Okay. Take Pete's car, go round Mum's, go in, deal with Philip.
Sorry, Philip.
Grab Mum, go to Liz's, pick her up, bring her back here, have a cup of tea, and wait for all this to blow over.
Perfect.
No, wait, we can't bring her back here.
Why not?
Well, it's not exactly safe, is it?
Yeah. Look at the state of it.
Where's safe? Where's familiar?
Where can I smoke?
Probably his defining moment that catapulted him to stardom has got to be Shaun, isn't it? So I'm going to pick the performance of Shaun of the Dead, I think.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Go on then, Ben.
Going for a double act.
Ooh.
I'm Fry and Laurie.
Very good.
Great sketches, brilliant writing, perfect delivery, deadpan delivery. Hugh Laurie can do stupid like nobody else. And he's a brilliant physical comic. I think with them is they were complete outsiders, which for what was going on in Britain at that time, comedy wise. They weren't the old guard. They weren't alternative comedy. They were footlights guys who wrote sketches. They did a review show, which was completely out of fashion.
Yeah,
but they did it in a way that was contemporary, but also really as biting as alternative comedy, but nodded back to the history of comedy. So they had kind of a foot in both camps almost. You know what I mean? They kind of honoured the old sort of radio comedy of like Hancock and things like that, but also Ben Elton, Rick Mayall, Lexi Sale, everything else that was going on at that time. And I think that a bit of Fry and Laurie, similar to Big Train, is one of the most overlooked and underrated British comedies of the last 30 years.
Yeah.
It doesn't get the props that it deserves. It doesn't get the mention that it deserves. Like the opening monologue was always great. The cocktail thing at the end, where he's playing the piano and Stephen Fry's making cocktails. It's just the absurdity of language, the fun that they had with just putting ridiculous words in the middle of a sentence, which completely changes it. So, like, just stupid jokes, right? And they did stupid really, really well, which is I love seeing people who are supposed to know better being really fucking silly, you know. It's just something that's inherently funny to me about that. One of my favourite jokes is the two guys that are in business and they're just drinking whiskey and shouting, and you know, and he's saying about he's not allowed to see his kids because he had an argument with his wife and threw a trifle over her head. She got custody. Right? It's just, it's a great joke. It's a great play on words. It's delivered perfectly.
I want to know who's behind them. I want to know who's pulling the strings. I want to know what in hell's name is going on.
Damn it, John, I do believe you're scared.
You're damn right I'm scared. I sense Marjorie's hand in this.
Marjorie?
I never told you this, Peter, but after Marjorie left me, I settled a block of shares on her and the boy.
Shares in the health club? Were you out of your goddamn mind?
In the club? No. No, I knew I couldn't trust her there, but I gave her shares in D-Tech.
And you think?
Think? I don't think anything. There isn't time to think. There's only time to act.
But is Marjorie really capable of pulling a scrimshaw trick like this?
Hell, Marjorie would float her own grandmother as a holding corporation and strip her bare of preference stock if she thought it would hurt me. 3 pints of damn and a chaser of hell blast.
What about the boy, John?
The boy's Dennis, Peter.
No, what about the boy? John.
You leave the boy out of this. He's just a boy.
You know, it's something I've always wondered, John.
Yeah?
How the boy ended up living with Marjorie after the divorce.
The court ruled that I was violent and unstable, an unfit father.
Well, that's a damn joke, John. If they could have seen how you've parented this company.
Yeah, well, Marjorie told them a story about how one night I'd been working late. I came home and I sensed in Marjorie's eyes and voice a sneering, a mocking, I don't know. I suppose I must have flipped. I emptied a bowl of trifle all over her.
So, she got custody.
Very.
Well, I must have heard, John. Must have heard not being able to watch Dennis grow up.
Yeah, Fran Laurie.
A few years ago, when Reeves and Mortimer released their box set of their show, I saw it advertised. I was like, "Oh wow, must get that." And Carly, bless her, being like she does, she always tries to be nice. She went out and surprised me with this new Reeves and Mortimer, but it was the box set of Jeeves and Wooster. That's a true story. That is brilliant. It still makes me laugh. You have to pretend you sort of go, "Oh, Jeeves and Wooster, Reeves and Mortimer." Sorry.
I am going to go with Simon Pegg because I'm not a big Stuart Lee fan.
Yeah, I'll go Simon Pegg as well.
Over Fran Laurie?
Yeah.
Really?
I have rewatched Big Train, Spaced, Shaun of the Dead, and Hot Fuzz way more than I've watched a bit of Fran Laurie. Fran Laurie, I love. I think it's brilliant. I think it was unique in a lot of ways, and I have gone back occasionally and rewatch some, but not as much as I'll go back and watch something that Simon Pegg's in, which kind of tells you, and probably so have you. Particularly,
probably watched Spaced more than I've watched a lot of other things.
Yeah.
Okay, so Simon Pegg went through. Honourable mention, last chance for him. Bloody hell! So the final round, the final voting is Steve Coogan, Bob Mortimer, and Simon Pegg.
Honourable mentions, Kev? What you got?
I had Key and Peele in my honourable mentions. I had Bob Mortimer in my honourable mentions. Michael Palin.
Yep.
For a couple of things, a couple of Monty Python things. The characters Michael Palin plays in both Holy Grail and Life of Brian the standout ones for me, particularly Holy Grail, where it's a excuse me, old woman, man. I'm a man. Sorry, old man. Who lives in that castle? I'm 37. It's just that whole scene makes me laugh.
Huge tracts of land.
Yeah. Of other Monty Python bits, the only the live version though. Is this the right room for an argument? That sketch is
yeah,
genius. And stand-ups, Patton Oswalt and
I have Patton Oswalt.
Yeah.
Great.
Have you seen Ripping Yarns with Michael Palin?
Yeah.
Yeah, many years ago.
It's great. My honourable mentions are Bill Hicks. What's his? Steve Martin and the other one. I always forget his name. Martin Short. I think is absolutely hilarious, and both of them together are really good. Don Rickles. I had Sebastian Mansa, whatever his name is, Mansicola.
Mascano.
Yeah, he's great. Very good, but he didn't make the list just because he's not really new, but he's fairly new for me. I just like the way he performs because he's almost dances his routine.
Yeah.
Really
he's in complete control as well, right?
Yeah, he's
complete control.
Very good, but maybe wanes off a little bit towards the end of a lot of his
Yeah.
stand-ups, his specials. Paul Whitehouse.
Yeah.
Robin Williams, as I said already, and Bill Burr, kind of like Bill Burr.
I like Bill Burr.
Mm.
Chris Rock.
Jerry Seinfeld. He's on my list. He's my
Yeah.
third.
Yeah, Jerry Seinfeld. I've gone Chris Rock, Woody Allen.
Eddie Murphy.
I
Eddie
can't
Murphy.
believe either of you. I thought one of you would have picked Woody.
I was gonna go with Woody Allen. But I thought as a stand-up, it was relatively short, wasn't it?
Yeah, I guess
it was a relatively short career. I think Ricky Gervais is a great stand-up. I think he's a very good stand-up.
Forgot all about Ricky Gervais.
My favourite Woody Allen joke from his stand-up era is he pauses his act and takes out his pocket watch. He says, check the time. I must tell you about my watch. My late grandfather, on his deathbed, sold me this watch.
Yeah, the final. So it was Steve Coogan, Bob Mortimer, Simon Pegg.
Coogan for me.
Oh, what? I'm going Bob Mortimer.
I'm going to go Steve Coogan.
Yeah, probably quite right.
If all he had ever done was Alan Partridge, he'd still be one of the greatest comedy performers the country's ever produced. But the fact that there are so many others, the fact that he started off as an exceptionally good impressionist, but then created all those characters as well. Yeah, he's everything he touches enjoyable.
Well, there you have it. Our favourite comedian or comedic actor is Steve Coogan. Next time, we'll be discussing our favourite sporting moments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. You can find us on YouTube, obviously, and Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast from. See you next time.
Ciao, Ellas.
That is a wrap.